He had just gotten home from work. His girlfriend was on top of another man. Betrayal hit him like a bullet. He lost control, pulled his gun, and emptied the clip. The man was dead. But for Martin, that moment of rage earned him 8 long years behind bars. When he finally got out, he made himself a promise. Never again would he touch another woman. With a record like his, no one would hire him. So Martin joined a crime syndicate, the only place that didn't care who you used to be. Then one day, the boss called him in for a special job. He was to protect a woman. Martin hated the assignment, but orders were orders. He was sent to Dusseldorf to bring her back safely. Ironically, the very reason the boss chose him was because he despised women. The boss figured that made him trustworthy. But the woman, she was everything Martin loathed. Seductive, reckless, dangerous. Her name was Ava. Someone was after her. For her own safety, she agreed to leave town, but only if Martin came along as her bodyguard. He didn't have a choice, so he said yes. From that moment on, every move Ava made drove him mad. On the train, they barely spoke a word. Then, restless and bored, Ava got up to find a drink. Halfway down the aisle, she snatched a bottle from a drunk man's hand. The guy grabbed her back, slurring and shouting. The next second, Martin's fist connected. The drunk went flying. "Touch her again," Martin growled, "and you're dead." Afterward, he dragged Ava back to her seat. She stared at him, something strange flickering behind her eyes. For the first time, she felt something. Later that night at dinner, Ava asked, "You really never drink?" Martin looked at his glass and said quietly, "My mom was an alcoholic." He told her about the winter night, when he was 10, how he tried to carry his drunk mother home, but she refused to move, insisting she'd rather sleep on the street. Angry and helpless, he walked away. By morning, she was dead, frozen on the sidewalk. "Since that night," he said, "I never touched another drop." Ava fell silent. Then she began to talk about the man she used to love, the fiancé she lost to betrayal and pain. She drank to forget him. They had loved each other wildly, hated each other just as much, and by the end, she was too drunk to remember why it all ended. That night, Martin carried her back to her room, but her unconscious touch, the warmth, the scent of alcohol, brought all his anger back. His mother, his ex, his hate for women and drunks. And yet, this woman who embodied both, was starting to stir something inside him he didn't understand. How does a snake woman reproduce? Because there are no men in their community. Upon reaching maturity, they are required to leave their tribes in search of husbands. Their sole criterion for choosing a mate is physical strength, as their bodily fluids contain a potent toxin. A weaker partner might not survive the encounter. For the protagonist, however, this poses no threat. As the reincarnation of the ancient Dragon King, his draconic power is unparalleled, capable of obliterating worlds. Yet, he has no desire for conquest. Betrayed by a hero in his previous life, so he's tired of the war. Now he just wants to live a peaceful life as an ordinary farmer. One fateful day, the protagonist encounters a legendary serpent woman. Her beauty leaves a lasting impression on him. Seeing that male protagonist wasn't afraid of him, Snake Woman thought of a way her mother had taught her to deal with humans, and that was to make a seductive gesture. However, the protagonist remains entirely unfazed. Just as Snake Woman was going to keep trying, a colossal monster suddenly appears, its enormous hand poised to crush her. The protagonist reacts swiftly, rescuing her and retreating to safety. He explains that the current monsters have lost all semblance of reason, posing a grave threat to the nearby village if left unchecked. Proposing a temporary alliance, he suggests they work together to defeat the creature. The serpent woman hesitates, confessing her inability to perform offensive magic. The protagonist reassures her, stating that all he needs is for her to buy some time while he handles the rest. Reluctantly, she agrees, deciding to employ a secret technique unique to her tribe. With their